Welcome, everyone. We are here with the Great Unlock crew. Everyone is here, and we are again meeting you for a lovely chat about all things manifestation. Because that's the theme for this month. It's the theme moving forward, to be fair. This is a big manifestation year for a lot of people. So, how is everyone?
I'm good.
You
Good.
good?
Couldn't be better. It's just a nice
Yeah.
sunny day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Today
great.
is a great day. Great day.
Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey, I want you to jump in with what your
Right.
son told you. I
Oh,
want to hear.
bruh.
I want to
So,
hear.
okay. So this is not. I mean, it is manifestation related, but not strictly. But so my son tells me yesterday, like, Dad, I saw something in my room last night, and I was like, okay. And my son always sees stuff. Like, I literally, there was a time maybe a couple years ago where I was having a conversation with him, and he looked over my shoulder with these big eyes, and I thought my wife was like behind me, like playing games. He's like, no, it's a man behind you, and he looks like da da da. And I was like, you fucking with me? Stop playing. And so, and this was even before I had even done OBE, so it kind of creeped me out. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it's something over my shoulder. So always sees, and then he kind of told me like describe whatever. So anyway, fast forward to last yesterday, he's like, Dad, I saw something in my room, and he tells me he had sleep paralysis. This is the first time he's ever had it where he could describe it, and he was like, I couldn't move, but I was awake. I knew I was awake, but I couldn't move. He said, but I could see. And I said, yeah, that's your soul eyes. You're not looking with your real eyes. It's your soul eyes. So you see it. And he said a a a a, a tall man in the room. Like I said, what, like about as tall as the ceiling? He's like, yeah. And I said, what did it look like? And he said it was gray. It was like a shadow. And I started laughing, and he's like, looking at me like, why are you laughing? I'm like, bro, I've seen that in the house too. And he told me that basically the shadow being reached out to him and said, he said, come with me. And obviously he's 14 years old. So he's like, fuck no, I'm not coming with you. What are you talking about? And so
Stranger danger.
right. So this right. So the shadow being actually picked him up. This is what he described to me. It picked him up and like carried him towards the door. And then he said, no, I'm not going. And then the shadow being put him down, and then he woke up in his body. And I thought that was the coolest experience because A, when you have them and you're a kid and you don't have a father who knows this stuff, that shit can be scary, and you will shut off all your ability to do anything else until you not in fear anymore.
Right.
So I explained to him exactly what it was. And it was crazy because I asked him to describe what the being looked like. And it's the very same thing I saw in the experience where I came out of my body and I walked around my house. It was the exact same height thing. And I told him what I did. I said, I just went up to it and tapped it on the shoulder. He's like, you could do that? I was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. So I took all the fear out of it. And I told him, I said, next time that happens, ask that being to reveal itself. And if it looks like a monster, then start asking it questions or tell it to show itself like a clown or something funny that you can laugh at. And so I just kind of gave him, and I bring that up because manifestation, that is the foundation of the other side. So I want to be very clear about that. We manifest instantly on the other side. So whatever you decided to be is what it will be for you, regardless of whom or what. The only thing you can't manifest is something that's going to hurt another soul. Like you just can't do that. But unless that other soul believes it to be true. But I love that experience he had because now it's teaching him his control over these experiences and over what's on the other side. And you don't have to be in fear because that's ultimately what I want the next generation. The next generation needs to know what we know now so that they can move their entire lives outside of fear. That's going to help the collective consciousness move towards the end of the construct and the golden age or whatever we move into. But that's all going to be helpful because the next generation is not going to be in fear like we were.
Right.
So it was just a cool experience that like when he described what it looked like, I didn't say anything because I didn't tell him what I saw. I said, describe with detail. What did it look like? He's like, it didn't have a face. It was just gray. It was like dark gray. And it was just a silhouette of a tall man. It was like probably I said, I put my hand to the ceiling, like this tall. He's like, yeah, like all the way to the ceiling. I was like, he's like, you're so tall. And I just laughed because I was like, yo, that's exactly what I saw. So I
That's
said, that's the
dope.
same thing that was standing over your mom when I walked through the house. And then his mom was
Right.
there. She was like, don't say that. Don't tell me that. And I was like, man, it ain't going to do nothing to you. Clearly it ain't. He picked my son up, and he told him he ain't going, and he put him back down. So it's clear that you have that control. So I thought that was a real cool experience because, like I said, I just want these kids to not think. I don't want my son to have the experience I had and not have somebody to talk to about it, and not and somebody who can get the fear out of the experience.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, once you have them when you're a kid, everybody has them when they're kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Most of
remember.
us
I
have
remember
had
the
them when
last
we're
one I
kids.
had because
Right.
I shut it
Right.
down because my
Right.
parents were like,
Exactly.
"Oh, you're just dreaming."
You got the devil. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, my
You know,
parents, listen, I'm trying to tell you, if I would have
they
told
didn't
my
know any
parents
better.
they was going to take me to the front of the altar at the church and had to pour all this oil,
Right.
this damn olive oil all over me and pray the demon out, that was what was going to happen. So I'd never said nothing about it. But, we outside of that bondage now. So uh, it's cool to be able to share that experience with your kids, and hopefully they have more. Like my daughter sees stuff all the time, and I told her like, hey, tell it to turn into what's her thing? It's a Roblox character. Tell it to turn into a Roblox character, and you'll be watching it. And she's like, okay, daddy. So it's kind of cool, and so I just thought I'd share that with
Right.
y'all.
Well, and that's also too,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
that's our default state, as you said. So not
Yeah,
shutting that
yeah,
down and
correct.
explaining it to them, they're gonna have such an easier
hmm
time with things like
hmm
manifesting because of that. Because that's
Yeah,
just your
exactly,
default state. You're doing it all the
exactly,
time. So,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Uh, in regard to what you actually shared, it's got me thinking about how when when you have limitation, it shows on the other side. So
Mhm.
sometimes using your dream as a gauge of how much limitation you hold within, it's quite helpful and very important actually because everything you it's like a mirror. Everything that's taking place here start on the other side. So
Mhm.
if you hold on to these beliefs and you feel limited, it will show up in your life.
Correct.
And so you having dreams or using the dream state or OBs and trying to dig deeper for that purpose is really helpful because
Yep.
and not use don't use fear to do it. But if you want to be able to clear your field and manifest on this side, I think it's extremely important. Yeah.
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 I like how
Correct.
you walked your son through telling his story, like telling like his experience to you, and that you didn't try and front run anything, but then
Nope.
the way that he naturally was like in command, and you
Yep.
then reinforced that, like,
Yep.
yep, do
Yep.
you see that this is what happened? He put you
Yep.
down because you are ultimately in
In
control.
control. Correct.
And that's beautiful because we do the same with our kids. But when I hear it from someone else, I'm like, okay, good. We're
Yeah.
building out
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
something for
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone in the
We got our
future.
we got our
They're not,
soldiers. We got our little
yeah, like
soldiers
Yeah.
that we gotta get
Yeah.
it's
on code.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
But
beautiful. I
Because
love that,
Yeah, I
Corey.
like that.
because I think even if it's a thought form,
mhm.
then that's based off a belief you have. It
That's
might
it's still a
obviously,
manifestation. Yeah.
yeah, it's still a manifestation. So it might not be, and if it's not, then you may be able to get like a lot of information by asking that being, more questions.
Right.
So it's
Question. Yep.
actually and it's kind
Yep.
of like how you have to behave here in this reality as well by
Yep.
asking yourself questions
Yep. And
while
it and
manifesting.
yeah, and it's turning fear into the opposite spectrum of fear is really curiosity.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And openness to everything instead of
correct,
Yeah.
correct,
contraction
and
and
that's
shutting
what
down.
curiosity will bring, a openness. Like
Yeah.
if you're curious about it, you've always been told people fear what they don't understand.
Hmm.
We've all been told that. I remember the first time it was said to me in elementary school, we was doing Black History. People fear what they don't understand. Now it's just like, okay, cool. Like that didn't mean much to me then, but I understand that now, because if you're curious and you're seeking to understand, then that automatically will replace fear. So
Yeah.
in order to manifest what you want, fear, and we're gonna talk about that. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I really want to start our conversation on Sunday with eliminating fear in order to manifest what you want.
Yep.
I
Well,
think
on
that's
that,
I
Mm.
think that's important,
what
because fear is the great uh, disabler,
Right.
if you will.
It's like hitting the
If
off
you,
switch
yeah,
or
and
flipping the valve or yeah.
and when I tell people this, I don't mean to sound preachy or anything, because I still deal with fear in my life. Not like fear of OBEs or stuff like that, but like anger can manifest itself from fear. So I'll get mad about something. Really, it was just a fear that I thought this was going to happen, and then that happened, and whatever. So I think it's really important that, and that's why it was important for me to have that conversation with my son. Like, okay, get rid of it. Make sure we're not moving in fear, because when you're outside of fear and you're inside of love, then you're in control. And so manifestation is so, listen, manifestation is you. You're doing it, whether it's good or it's bad, is you. There is no other source. If your life is shitty, that's your fault.
Right.
If your
well,
life is great, it's your fault. So we're gonna obviously get in that more detail what that means, but
It's like making
fear
people
is,
conscious of it again. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
you've fallen a bit asleep here because that's how this place is set up.
yep,
Everybody
yep,
went through it.
yep,
So don't
yep,
feel bad about that. Just
yep.
we're
I've
gonna start
fallen
waking up
asleep.
again now.
People think I'm some kind of OB guru. I'm not. Sometimes I get back into realm one in life, and I'm fucking around in realm one, and then
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. I remember that I don't have to even deal with this, so I don't even
Yep.
have to.
Uh,
I don't even have to respond to these things this way. You know, something I do every day now, and I've been doing it for a while, but sometimes I hadn't, and I'm getting back to doing it. I take maybe 5 minutes out of my day to just look at my hands and just be like, this ain't
mm,
even real. This shit ain't even, these are not real. These are literally just a
Your
suit.
lucidity check.
yeah.
Yes. I'm like looking at my hands. I'm like, that's fucking crazy that I chose to come down here in this shit. Like, I
Actually,
still do it all the time.
I
right.
actually
So,
wanted to raise a question in
mm,
regards to fear and
mm,
manifesting. Um, you hear about vampiric energies,
mhm.
and a lot of people are asking themselves, like, how can I prevent that, or is it actually even real? Is it a real thing? So I want to ask you guys, what do you and girls, what do you
I'm good with
guys
guys.
think? But what do you guys think about that?
Uh, yeah, I feel like that's part of manifesting. If you want to like do it cleanly, let's say, like, okay, do you run off and tell your husband? Do you run off and tell your brother, your wife, whomever it is about it, and they immediately sabotage your new little idea that you're working on because like you both kind of do that to each other. You kind of you keep each other rooted right where you're at. If you do that, that person is kind of, well, it's kind of like energy vampirism at that point because you came in all excited and happy and they're like, and now you're where you're at. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's possible. I will say as a caveat, it's if you believe it to be true, of course. But the people that you are the closest to are the ones you're typically the most vulnerable towards too.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah.
Was,
Corey.
yeah,
Oh,
was
he ended exactly where I would have picked it up at. Like, yeah, I believe that is a thing, but I believe it's only a thing because you believe it's a thing. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe anybody has any power over me other than the power that I give them. That's how I move. If somebody pissed me off, it isn't because they pissed me off. It's because I allowed them to piss me off. So even with the vampiric energy, you still manifest in that because you are feeding into the vampiric energy.
Right.
The easiest way not to do it is don't tell people your shit. And now you don't even have to worry about that being an energy because you don't give that energy any room to manifest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I totally agree with you, Bless. It is a real thing, but I think it's only real because we give it the power that we give it.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
always going to be, I am the great empowerer. I am going to
Yes.
empower everybody around me that you are God, you make the decisions, and
Mm.
everything that is around you moves in accordance to how you operate, good and bad. So, yes, I do believe it is an energy. I do believe that if you don't want it to be an energy in your life, absolutely it doesn't have to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Mine goes twofold. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine goes twofold because I grew up with people who would be considered in the, I guess, psychological world as narcissists.
Hmm.
So it was growing up, that was something that was very real to me. Okay. But it's a two-way street because on the other side of a vampiric energy is also an empathic energy. So it's like one coin, two different sides. Yeah. The
Hmm.
ability to pick up on people's feelings and the ability to feel what they feel and the ability to feel into the energy of it can be used for manipulation, or it could be used for
Correct.
whatever it is that the person wants
You
it for.
choose to lose for it. Yeah, correct.
Right. Exactly. Some people just choose for it to be for their own gain only. But what I would say about that is when it comes to like family members, like if you're going to share something, so sometimes you could do something you feel really, really, really like excited about it, and then you go and share it with your closest, right? And then your closest has a reaction to it that may feel like it's falling flat. But what a lot of us do is like internalize that reaction.
Hmm.
And
We make
then
that our
you
reaction.
make it something that you feel instead of asking it like how you would ask your field something. So when I have like, if I have something that comes up like that, what I usually do is, because I understood now, like my relationships that I've picked like close to me, my divine relationships are mirrors of me. And that's what I've asked them to do. Can you mirror blah, blah, blah? So if I see something that I don't like, I usually ask, there's something there I don't like. What is that? Because this is how I'm reading it. And usually how you're reading it is more of a reflection of what it is you are asking for rather than what it is they're trying to give you. So
Right.
the other day, actually, I must have said something to Amondi, and his answer to me sounded like, to me, that I shouldn't do that thing anymore. That's not a good idea. Like, it was great, but you might want to change this, this, and this. And when I answered him back about it, I was like, I don't really like that answer because it makes me feel like, boom, like you don't want me to do this, this, and this. Like, are you trying to hold me down? Like, are you trying to hold me back? You're trying to bash my blessings because I is God. Like, what you doing? Like, it was that energy, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Mondi being
no,
such a trooper right now. Just
I see you
mhm.
up here. Like, he's like, no, no, no. I see you up here. Like, I just wanted this for you. And I was like, yeah, but you're forgetting those took steps and I'm just step one right now. So you're going to have to meet me where I'm at. And then, sure, I'll get that path. I thought you were trying to like cut me down and expect too much of me. He was like, no, uh, that's not it. So I think what happens with people, and this is where Corey and Bless was saying, allowing people to do that, is if you don't like to question those around you because you're scared that they're going to react in a certain way, you're going to lose favor, lose love, lose all of these things with them.
Right.
When if you asked them what it was, you'd find out it wasn't vampiric at all. Was
Correct.
vampiric is your reaction towards them,
Right. Which
Correct.
that
goes
you
right.
need them to give you approval.
Yup.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and
Goes
that's
right back to how Corey put it with the anger thing. Right.
yes.
How did you interpret your anger?
Yes.
You
I
know what? It
decided
is
to feel that.
it is really funny you mentioned this because I actually was so
Oh,
you
Monty's gonna
don't
get
put
into it
yourself
now. He's like,
you,
well,
you
since
don't
you
put
saying that, let me tell you
Well,
what I
you know what
really
I'm
was
saying? Oh, la,
saying.
la.
Thank God we sort our shit out before we come on live,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Cool.
So what it was actually is actually absolutely the synchronicity is real because
Yeah.
it was actually because I didn't want you being taken advantage of. And I say sometimes if you expect people to know when enough is enough, you could give forever. That was
Mm-hmm.
where I came
Mm-hmm.
from. And
Yeah,
it was
that's true.
actually quite the contrary. it happened that sometimes things aren't always understood the way we expect them to be understood. And again, that's an expectation. Um, Ultimately, in the light of what we just talked about, the way this is all work is about dominant frequency. So it almost doesn't matter what people do around you if you don't emit weak signal. But if you are weak in your signal, then yeah, no wonder someone can just
Come and knock you off.
knock you off that easily.
That's
and
why I
this,
was like, who
right.
do you think you are? You
and
think you're
this-
knocking me off? Yeah, you're knocking me off.
and this all understanding and the details of all of this. The details of all of this, I'm actually laughing as well because you and your ADHD. I was just trying to stay on course. I was like, shit. But what I'm saying is, and I'm here for it. So that's what I'm getting into. But I'm trying to be like, yeah. So basically, all the details of how you maintain a strong frequency when you want to manifest. These are what we're going to go through on Sundays.
Yeah.
Because there's protocols, there's way to do it, and even the things that you thought that is like all these Illuminatis and all these people, all these elites, they're doing bad stuff, and like Corey mentioned once, just because someone do things for nefarious reason, it doesn't mean that what the way they do it is a bad thing. I'm paraphrasing, but you say something along.
No, listen.
Yeah.
If I bash your head in with a hammer, the hammer isn't bad. It's not the hammer that's at fault. Like, what are we talking about? Like the tools that you can use to manifest, if they're being used in nefarious ways, then that's none of your business, first of all, because there's people not going to be judged for that no way. They'll have consequences that'll be around it here in this life, but there's no ultimate judgment for any of that stuff. So I don't even focus on what other people do with the skill set. And you shouldn't either.
Yeah, it's just giving energy away.
Exactly. And bless, to that point, it's keeping you from manifesting because now you are always in a perpetual state of this is bad, that's bad, this is this. Well, then that's what it's going to be for you. And you still going to, you're using the skills regardless. You may be using the skills manifesting a bunch of bad shit in your life. Or you can use it for the good shit in your life. You choose. You using the same hammer regardless. You can either use the hammer to build the house of your life, or you use the hammer to bash in the head of your life. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. The tool is still the same. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Omar, because like, again, I want you to be if you're gonna walk around saying you're a god, act like one.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming everybody else for what's going on, or this or that, this, that. Oh, this person did this or that. Or vampiric energy. None of that shit should matter because you should be the god of your experience. And if you are, then none of that matters.
That
right?
Absolutely,
is
Corey.
vampiric. To
Yeah.
say it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah,
because you've
it's
always got
somebody else.
you know what I mean? Because then you
Yeah.
have to have your teeth in someone else to
Mhm.
blame them all the
Yeah.
time and keep on saying, oh, well, it's them and
Yeah.
and it reminds me of the film, like, oh, I forgot what film it was. Corey, you told us to watch that film. We went and watched it. What was it?
Inception?
No, with the vampires.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan.
Sinners.
Sinners.
Yeah.
You have to welcome that in. Vampiric energy is only entering if you welcome it in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you welcome it in by saying it's that person's fault, or that's the person, or that's who it is to blame.
Right.
Like,
Well, and it's funny
literally
'cause-
the giving away is the vampiric
right.
energy.
Like
Yeah.
you are calling them something while throwing all of your energy at it. Like you got a bag full of baseballs and that's all your energy, and you're like, it's that thing over there, and it's like you're just throwing your energy away, man. Just stop.
Right.
Just stop.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny because like it's the crab in the bucket.
Yeah,
Literally,
same
it
idea.
becomes
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and oh, go ahead. I'm
Sorry, we have about 5 minutes before we wrap up, but there is a comment in the chat that I wanted to bring up. So let's see, 1991 says, my biggest energy vampire is my own ego mind. It's always stuck between the past and the future. So I personally would love to hear your thoughts on that, just selfishly, because I deal with that all the time.
You're probably not gonna like this answer, but stop attributing negative thoughts to your ego. Your ego is literally who you are. When people tell you get rid of ego, what they're telling you is be like everybody else and let's all be the same. Your ego is literally who you are. It is what identifies you as a soul. So as a soul, you're autonomous, right? And your ego is literally who you are. So when I leave my body, I don't become a different, holier person. I cuss, I say crazy shit, did all of that on the other side too. So I don't I don't think your vampiric energy is your ego. It's the negative connotation you have associated with the ego. And so again, we get into this whole thing of giving, and I'm gonna tell you what did it, and then I'll get off my soapbox. Religion did it to us because it made you say that either something has to be good or something has to be bad, and you attribute this polarity to literally everything in your life, and then you wonder why things don't work for the good. Well, you probably attribute more things to bad than you do to good anyway, because that's how we operate. We focus more on the negative than we do on the positive, right? So your ego isn't here to harm you. It is literally who you are. It is what you are choosing to believe is what is harming you, or choosing to know that is harming you or not harming you, right? So your soul knows all things, and your ego is the identifier of your soul. So don't attribute anything negative to your ego. There is nothing getting in your way except for your thoughts and how to manifest those thoughts, which we'll get into on Sunday.
I'm gonna also talk about what you just mentioned, Corey, about the idea behind you over focusing on one thing and then expecting to manifest again, I'm paraphrasing, something else.
Correct.
And it just won't happen. The idea of dominant frequency, all of this, it's a real thing. Studies been carried out before about it. They've been knowing about it. Things maybe we should have been taught, but that's okay because it's a game. And I would just say this. I will say, because we can all admit that we are playing this game, it makes sense to know how the game is played and the rules.
Yes. Yes.
And this is why you need to come to the event, because we're going to talk about it. The nature of this game, what is it? What's going on? What's taking place? Why this works and this does not work. And to stop you confusing the ego as being bad or sort of things that stop you, as opposed to something that's part of the integration of the experience that's taking place in this game. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with
I'll let you go before me go.
Oh, okay, sure. So, not to retread ground because Corey nailed it. Amoni brought up a very good point to go with that. I think that's amazing between the two of them. All I would add is it's always here and it's always now, no matter who you are. And if you're stuck, if you find yourself thinking in the past or thinking about the future, then you're drifting away from where you are all the time, which is here and now.
Correct.
So if I would suggest even just to help you with that, just some mindfulness meditation, just sit in the presence of the moment, and that'll help a whole bunch too, because that recenters you, and then you're like, oh, thank God. Okay, all right, now I can go back to what I was, because now I'm back here. I brought all my energy back, and now I'm that'll help a lot. But beyond that, what Corey and Amondi had to say, spot on, absolutely.
Oh no, I'm glad you added that piece, because that is truly part of this thing. Like on the other side, there is no future or past. We only exist in the present. So everything that I've learned from that side, I'm trying to do it here, copy it here. So if I can stay in the present here, then I'm much more able to manifest the same way I am on the other side.
Right.
So that's another key part of what we're going to be talking about too, because a lot of people think that you can just take what we're saying and automatically manifest whatever you want. There's some self-correction that you have to do, and some soul correction, some soul
limiting beliefs.
Some cleaning out of your soul closet that has to take place for a lot of this stuff to work. So we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Shem? Yeah, what do you think, Shem?
I love all of your points, and it's brought up so much. Hence why it's like, you know what, let's just wrap this up because we go on forever, you know us. But um staying present is also harping back to what Corey said earlier about the lucidity check here. You know,
Mm.
it's part of that lucidity check that
Mhm.
I am here, I am now. It's part of staying present and grounded in your actual experience in the moment. And what I'd also say is that's part of what I wanted to explain on Sunday is the relationship now that we've kind of picked up with the new age beliefs of what an ego is. And it's not wrong because you can't throw everything out. Like the new age movement brought us to where we are now. Now we're at just Christ
Right.
consciousness,
Mhm.
level up, Godhead, all this business. So there's things to keep. However, one of them is where we skewed the meaning of what the ego is. Even in a psychological setting,
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
been augmented from what it is.
Yes.
There's always been three dichotomies to it. The ego has always been just the you without the influence of duality.
Mm-hmm.
So when you
Correct.
say that you're feeling this pull, it's understandable, but it's not the ego, it's the two others. It's that devil and angel, it's that
The duality,
the two whisperings in
the
your
right, the
ears.
wrong. Yep.
Yep.
It's that, which is understandable, and yet it can get in the way when you're manifesting because you want to manifest it first from a centered point. But yeah, we'll get into that at the Great Unlock. So I
Beautiful.
will wrap up here. But thanks, Malekta. That was a
Thank
really
you.
great
Thank you,
point.
Shell.
A great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
great.
good.
Thank you.
Glad
Really,
you brought that
yeah,
up.
really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Malikta,
Sh-
if
Yes.
you can let them
So,
know. Yeah.
couple housekeeping things for those who've already registered. Um, you should have gotten an email today from me from the Great Unlock email. If you haven't, you reach out to me and I'll see what's going on. I know there's a few people who've tried to register and it didn't go through. I reached out to them as well. So if you're having any issues, just email thegreatunlock@gmail.com, and that's with the 8 and great. And also, just a reminder, the event is Sunday, so we're going to keep the registration open up until the time, so you can hop on, come join us. I'll be checking to make sure you get the Zoom link. The links will go out on Saturday, so we're really excited to see y'all.
Yeah. Show
Yeah.
up, bring a pad and paper too, or
I
a
know.
Word document, whatever you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we look forward to speaking to you one on one. And if you can't make the actual date, you can still register and you can get the downloaded version of it. So
Link
you
down
can
below, by the way.
yeah, yeah. We look forward to seeing you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thanks everyone,
Beautiful.
and we shall see you soon. All right. Ciao.